Okay, this is the consumer law that will be the best in the nation when it comes to debt settlement companies and their oversight, and it's a credit to everybody who worked on this bill. It's now a law, and I think consumers can understand that as long as we're here, we're going to fight hard for everyday people who are in the marketplace and deserve a fair shake. It's important that we protect consumers, especially now, given the economic times that we find ourselves in, where a lot of families who live from check to check every month, oftentimes they have bills to pay that are important to their family. They may fall behind sometimes in paying the bills, and we've got to protect consumers from those who would take advantage of them in the marketplace. And debt settlement companies in Illinois have abounded in recent years and have used their devices to entice consumers into many arrangements that end up costing the average person thousands and thousands of dollars. And in no way, shape, or form were protecting consumers or helping consumers. All they were doing was helping fast buck artists. And we cannot allow that to happen. We've got to really use the law to protect consumers. And that's exactly what I'm going to be signing today. Our Attorney General, Lisa Madigan, and our State Treasurer, Lexi Giannoulias, worked together to get a law passed with our office, our Department of Financial Regulation, worked with both of the other offices to get a bill through the legislature onto my desk that deals with the regulation of debt settlement companies. We cannot allow good, hardworking people to be taken advantage of by those who know better and who are unscrupulous. The federal government has done a study of this whole area and found that there are many unscrupulous operators out there who use the debt settlement device to take the life savings and money out of the pockets of people who are really the heart and soul of our state and our whole country.
We have seen an onslaught of commercials, of advertisements telling us that we can pay off our debt 50% off, 60% off, as much as 70% off. And these commercials are so enticing because so many of us are struggling to pay our bills. Estimates were that when the recession hit, Americans had as much as $1 trillion in credit card debt alone. And so many, many people have been suffering from this. And when you hear those ads, it seems very natural to say, hey, if I have $10,000 in debt, I'd much rather pay $5,000, $2,500, as opposed to that whole $10,000. And so people, by the droves, were signing up, but they didn't realize that what they were signing up for was a situation that was only going to put them in a worse financial position ultimately. So the debt settlement operator's goal is to find people who have at least $10,000 in debt. And then what they do when they sign you up is they take an enormous fee and a lot of other add-ons up front. So you are having to pay out, most of the time, thousands of dollars up front, while they were providing you with absolutely no services. In fact, the vast majority of people ultimately drop out of debt settlement operators' services before any of their debts are settled, before they get any services provided them. And here's why they drop out, because the debt settlement companies tell you that what you need to do is to stop paying your creditors. But your creditors don't take well to that. Instead, what they do is they charge you late fees and penalties, and so ultimately you owe them even more money. Many of those creditors won't work with debt settlement operators. And many people end up dropping out because they got sued by their creditors. So this was a terrible scheme. We've had literally hundreds and hundreds of consumer complaints to the Illinois Attorney General's office. So far, we have filed 7 lawsuits against debt settlement operators, and across the country, there are well over 150 lawsuits that have been filed against these debt settlement operators. We decided the best thing to do was to go to the legislature to pass a bill to stop these abusive and unfair practices from taking place. And so we worked very hard with the legislators that are here, including Marlo Colvin, who is not with us today, to pass a bill that changes the way debt settlement operators can operate in Illinois. Now they will not be allowed to charge you more than a $50 enrollment fee, and they will get no other payment until they actually settle your debt. When they do that, the fee is capped at 15% of what they have saved you, not on the total amount of debt you had, is what they were taking. And so we are very, very pleased to be here today for this historic bill signing. This law in the state of Illinois will be the toughest one in the nation when it comes to telling debt settlement operators how they can play in this state. At the end of the day, paying off your debt is like dieting. There are no easy solutions. It is hard work, and you just have to do it. That is how you're going to pay off your debt, apparently how people lose weight. And with that, I again say thank you to everybody who is here today who's made this possible. It is a great day for consumers in Illinois.
I believe that this bill will curtail the same predatory practices that have plagued Wall Street. Predatory practices that tend to prey on those who are the most desperate and vulnerable. And they prey by giving them a false sense of hope and misleading promises and fraudulent promises of where they can go to find the help that they need.
So we want to fight hard for consumers on every element, whether it be on utilities or on their health care, and definitely when it comes to their savings and the amount of money that they have in their pocket.